I bet you're making this Social Security mistake. You know why I know that? Because a lot of people do. A lot of people who are actually smart, righteous guys and gals, they make this mistake all the time. And Social Security allows it to be made. Drives me up the wall, man. All right, so let's go into this. I was reading a LinkedIn piece by a guy who I respect immensely. A good guy, and I'm not going to say his name. And he made this mistake. And I commented on his LinkedIn piece. I said, man, you're making the classic mistake. And everybody does this. I did it till I was educated. I can't remember who actually educated me on this. But it's a classic mistake. So I'm just going to go with it. All right. So we got two things right here. All right, investments. We'll just say simply 401k. All right, so we got Social Security. So you're 40 years old. We're going to say you're 40 years old. All right. And you got your Social Security statement. And your Social Security statement says, Josh, if you continue making the kind of money you're making now, by the time you're full retirement age at 67, you'll get $2,300 a month in Social Security. I'm like, man, that's not good. All right, so you're saying that you get $2,300. And then you say, oh, man, I got $200,000 right now in my 401k. And again, I'm 40 years old. It does not matter. It doesn't matter. But just hear me out. I got $200,000 in my 401k right now. I'm 40 years old. Now, I know for a fact I got to put 6.2% in OASDI. That's Old Age Survivor Disability Insurance, i.e. Social Security. The other 1.45 is for hospital insurance, Part A of Medicare. So I know 6.2% of my wages go into Social Security. I'm going to say I'm making $100,000 a year. All right, so I'm saying at the end of the day, what if I did not have to invest in Social Security and instead I could invest this money into here? You with me so far? So I know for a fact I've got to invest in Social Security. I'm losing $6,200 every single year on my $100,000 investment. We're not going to talk right now about, is that someone out there? Nope. We're not going to talk right now about the employer contribution. We'll get in that later. So I say, okay, I've got to put $6,200 of my own money in. I have to put in here, but let's just say this is how bad Social Security investment is. If I could have invested that myself, what would I be looking at instead? So let's run these numbers. Anyone see so far where the mistake is? All right, you see the mistake? All right, so check it out. So we take our trusty calculator. We're going to say $200,000 is our present value. We're going to put $6,200 in. We're not adjusting for inflation, just for simplicity. We're going to do it for 27 years. So our full retirement age is at 67. We'll just say we get 6% a year on a rate of return. Our future value is $1.383 million. All right, so we take our trusty our trusty pen. This is at 40 years old, and we're going to say we'll just put down here, 67, $1.383 million. All right, $1.383 million. Again, that's just with my own contributions, not including my employer. All right, so now we're going to say if I had that times 0.05, I would get how much of a how much of a benefit would I get? 1.383 times 0.05, that's $69,000 a year. That would give me $69,000 a year of income. So 27 years go by, $6,200 a year going in my own contributions. If I couldn't invest it myself, I'd have $69,000 of income. Unfortunately, my statement says I'm only getting $2,300, and $2,300 is times that by 12. Anyone see yet where the mistake is? $27,600. $27,600. So if we look at this, we say $27,600. You're like, man, that's $42,000 difference. $42,000 difference of what I could have made if I invested myself. I'm not even including my employer contributions. All right, so let's pause. $69,000 versus $27,000. What's the mistake? You ready? The mistake is that is in today's dollars. This is in the future dollars. Future at 6% a year. This is in today's dollars. You have to adjust this with inflation too. And using the latest trustees report, the inflation is 2.4%. So we got to use this down here and say, how much will that give us then? And so we take our trusty calculator. We go $2,300 a month is our present value. 27 years from now, 2.4 is the interest rate. 0 payment. The future would be $4,364. $4,364 a month times 12 equals what? Well, that's going to be more than $48,000. It's going to be times 12, $52,000. How much was that? I think it was 53. 52,366. All right. Look at that. Not too shabby if I do say so myself. So here you got 52,366 versus 69,000. That's if you got a flat 6% a year. No risk there at all, other than the government taking away your Social Security. They're not doing that. I'm sorry. People who say the government's going to take away your Social Security, they don't understand political. They don't follow politics. That's not happening. So here you got this guarantee. All right, that's 52,000. Here's no guarantee, none whatsoever. That could easily fall off a cliff. In fact, what if this was 1999? You had 1.383 million, and then over the following 3 years, 1.383 million. The S&P fell 9%, 12%. Oops, 1.383 minus 9%, minus 12%, minus 22%, 863. So after 3 years, this was now worth $863,000. Now, if you take that times 5%, times 5%, that's $43,000. So, look, man, I am a libertarian Republican. I would not have voted for Social Security in the when did FDR sign that? 33, 34, I forgot, one of those years. I would not have voted for it. But FDR is a genius. He was just a political genius. He really was. The withholding tax, freaking genius. Was that FDR did the withholding tax? I can't remember, but I think it was. Yeah, with the Social Security, the reason Social Security is so supported is because he said we have to make sure everyone buys into the program. If there becomes less and less of people who buy into it, inherently Social Security will lose its legitimacy and then we'll never get it back. And the way you get everyone to buy into it is you actually, make everyone contribute, because that means they have value in there. They have an equity stake. And what Social Security Administration does horrifically wrong, though, is they allow that to sit there as if that is the amount of money you're going to get at your full retirement age. Because it says it. That's what it says, literally on the statement. At your full retirement age, this will be the amount of money you get if you continue to work until you're 67, making the kind of income you get. And the problem is it's not going to be the benefit at your full retirement age. That is literally not going to be the benefit. That is the benefit in today's dollars. Then people compare this to this. And they're like, look at that, 27,000 to 69,000, that's not even close. And then they say we can add the employer contribution on if you want. My argument is the employer contributes it. It doesn't mean they would if there's no if there's no mandate from Social Security. It doesn't mean the employer would. They might pay you more. Would you save it? I don't know. But people say, oh, if I can invest in the employer contribution, there's no guarantee the employer would contribute that. We don't know. Would they? I don't know. I think they probably would not. I think what they do is just give you a higher income for which you pay tax on it. And on top of that, you'd probably spend that as opposed to saving it. I just know that's what would happen for most people. Maybe not you, but for most people it would. And so your Social Security benefit says right there, $2,300 a month, and it says at your full retirement age of 67, if you do this and that. Oh, I don't know why it doesn't say, based on our current trustees report of inflation at 2.4%, we would predict this. Or they can do 2%, or they can do whatever they want. But just say, based on the current trustees report, 2.4. Let's say it's not going to be 2.4. Let's say it's 1.3. Do you really think you're getting 6% a year in stocks? I don't know. But this is a big if. This is only thing about this is if you're going to get the 2.4% cost of living adjustments. And don't forget, it's 2.4% cost of living adjustments. That's at 60. You're going to get your average wage index adjustments on here. Average wage AWI has been historically much higher than COLA is. You can look that up. I think I might need to redo that video. I did a video on that probably over 2 years ago now, comparing COLAs versus AWI. And so while you're working up until you're age 60, your benefit is increasing the indexing amount by the average wage index, which historically has been much higher than COLAs. Doesn't mean it will be, but if we're using 2.4% COLAs and the AWI has been like 3.5% to 4%, this is even going to be better. Now, we don't know what it's going to be, but Social Security is discounting itself, and you are, I would say, giving yourself a premium, assuming you're going to get 6% a year. We don't know that. You could fall into a buzzsaw like we had in 2001 and 2. And if you do, you're wishing you had Social Security. I'm just telling you right now. So don't make that mistake. Understand the Social Security statement you have is showing you today's numbers. It's not inflating it. And if you're comparing it to inflated numbers for the future, you're wrong. And I just wish Social Security would address that on their statements. So love to hear your thoughts, questions, comments. We'll see you.